Lost Odyssey, the golden gem of a game that came out so long ago. I was saving this review because I was going to do a video on the downfall of Squaresoft, but now is not the time and I just wanted to share this game with you guys. How many of you guys hated Final Fantasy 13? I've been doing a lot of reading, and I think the long-term followers of the Final Fantasy franchise mostly didn't like this game. New people to the franchise did, however. If you're one of the haters, there is a gem that you may or may not have played. It's called Lost Odyssey. Sadly, the game is only released on the 360. Graphically, that game was still beautiful, and it was created on the Unreal Engine. I remember this game having long loading issues and whatnot, but you can install this one on your Xbox hard drive, resolving any issues that still remain after the years of patches it has received. Backgrounds are done well and the colors stand out. The game can really put you in a good mood. I enjoyed the CGI sequences, and some areas are done graphically that well that you just want to be there. On the gameplay side of things, it's turn-based 100%, which means you can cook up pizza pockets and eat them while you play. That's a bonus. There aren't that many armors each character can equip, but each of them have their own abilities. If you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series, you'll get similar magics with this game, each leveling as your character does. Some enemies will be weak towards fire, while others are weak towards ice. I'm sure you know the drill. Potions and things that help out during battle can also be purchased in shops throughout the game or picked up in chests. And as you play the game more and more, you'll eventually unlock a boat to explore the map, and again later it will fly, opening up the entire map for you to explore. Some of the dungeons you'll encounter will have puzzles for you to solve, sometimes breaking up your party into more than one group. This game plays like a next generation Final Fantasy game created right. It does come on 4 discs however, and will be hard to find, so you may have to check eBay or some local trade-in shop. Combat is turn-based, but it has a catch. You get these rings, which are triggered when you press the right trigger at the right time before your character animation hits the enemy for added damage depending on the ring's stats. The story is another one of the driving powers of this game. It's immense and will draw you in. Basically, your main character Calm cannot die. He's been around for thousands of years wandering, and your basic goal will be to stop some dude who wants the power for himself. As you play, you'll get these stories from Calm's past in which you'll have to read them through. It's a bit tedious to be honest, but I did manage to find and read them all. They will make you cry. They will. On top of Calm's story, you'll also get stories on your other characters to either explore or not. That's up to you. The game isn't linear at all. It's one of the few games that I've personally 100%ed, and that's not something I do very often. The sound in the game is also unforgettable. I can't play you any in the background as YouTube hits me up every time on third party blah 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 blah, but I'm sure you can Google some of the themes yourself. Voice acting is also top-notch Japanese translations, which means they're sometimes going to be cheesy but acceptable like all the other old Final Fantasy games. This game is distinctive as it follows the old school route towards Japanese RPGs on today's console generation. The only games I really enjoyed that have come out lately are Eternal Sonata and Nino Kunai. I guess this type of gameplay is old school and losing ground, which kinda saddens me. Lost Odyssey sold just under 1 million units. This was labeled as a failure and it closed the doors on any sequel. But it's not a failure, it's a game you should have. Now for the kicker some of you guys may or may not know. One of the founding members of Squaresoft made this game, Nobuo Uematsu. I'm not very good with pronunciations, but it's the reason I love this game and will never sell it. Well, this concludes my review, guys. This is DTR. Communicate laters.